What is going on, everyone? Welcome into BP Insights. So, texting. Let's talk about texting. Texting is just a tool to set up dates. You want to use. When you get her number, when you get a girl's number, you want to set up the date, preferably right away. And if she has high interest, you can just set that date up right away. I like to do, for some reason, PF Chang's always comes to mind. You can just dinner is fine. Coffee's good. Coffee's a short date, but kind of the main point I wanted to make this video is you want to use texting as a way to set up dates. I had a debate with someone that you want to text to build interest. Oftentimes, a girl knows whether she's going to go on a date with you once you get her number. So, especially if it's an in-person approach, because girls make decisions on guys really quickly. So, she knows within the first few seconds whether she wants to go on a date with you. So, you got to get that. You have to just get, once you get their number, set up the date right away. And you can do, people always talk about Dave & Buster's is like one that comes to mind as one of the date places, just because you can kind of be, up moving, playing games, having a good time. It's kind of easier to get more comfortable, I guess. So Dave & Buster's is kind of one that comes to mind. Some other places, PF, like I talk about, PF Chang's is always one that I talk about. PF Chang's, I really like the food to go to. And guys talk about this too. You want to go to a place where you actually like to go. Don't just try to say, well, let's go to this place. It seems like a lot of girls like this place, or seems like a place just based on first meeting her that she would like. Go to a place that you genuinely like. If she really doesn't like that place, if she's really into you, she'll be down with going to wherever place you choose. So that's the thing. Texting, I'll reiterate again, texting is a way to set up dates. Some guys they'll text all day. They'll text the girl all day. That turns her off because that just shows you don't really have much of a life. If you're texting a girl all day, then she's going to think, are you really on your grind? Are you really, getting after it? Are you really getting after it in the gym, getting after it financially, getting after it, building your channel, or, improving, you're actually just like, enjoying some hobbies. So that's the thing. You should always, or you should not text, definitely not text a girl all day. Use texting as a way to set up dates. But yeah, there's, that's the thing. If, you get a girl's number, and you ask, I think a lot of guys think that you shouldn't ask right away because, asking right away, you're going to come off as desperate. And here's the thing. If she rejects you, when you ask too early, then she was never really that interested anyways. I think that's the part guys get twisted, thinking that the girl was actually really interested. You just turned her off by asking to hang out. That's, to me, I guess that can be the case somewhat of the time. That's only the case if the girl had like medium interest. I think that, but if this girl had high interest, she liked you, genuinely like you, then it doesn't really matter. You could have asked to hang out on the opening text. You don't even need to say, "Hey, this is so and so." But personally, what I like to do is I like to say, other guys, I've kind of learned this. Hey, this is so and so. From wherever you're at, you got a number. Say you got her number in the park. Hey, this is Joe from the whatever the Smith Park or whatever the park's called. And then she might say, "Hey, how are you? Hey, it was nice meeting you." They say, "Hey, it was nice meeting you." That's usually kind of a red flag. Usually when girls say "nice to meet you," it's more kind of their way of saying like, I found you attractive enough to reply, obviously, but I don't really like you all that much. It's kind of what "nice to meet you" means. But yeah, if you get something like, "Hey, how's it going? Hi," just a hi, or a response back, then the next text is when you can just ask to hang out. You can just go right there, boom. Hey, hey, would you like to go to PF Chang's Wednesday at 6 p.m.? Boom. So that's just kind of how it goes down. It's really that simple. Guys, I think guys think that it's more complicated than it is. It's really that simple. So that's kind of my go-to. Yeah, I'm always leery about the the nice to meet you text. Sometimes you'll have a girl ask you for your Instagram or your social media. This is a huge sign that she's really not all that interested, because it's her way of saying I need more info. Now, if you, in the case of this, if you had like a popping Instagram, she probably would still give you a shot on the date, but you know it eventually wouldn't really lead to something long term, because she's really not all that interested. She just needs some more info. She needed, she's kind of looking for you to have some status. Because that's the thing. If a girl's really all that into you, she doesn't really need more information. She's already sold right away. Girl, think about it like in your history of dating. Girls that were interested, really all that interested in you, you kind of knew. Not even kind of, you knew right away. 98% of the time, you knew right away. There was not any, there wasn't really, you weren't asking the question, is she really into me? You knew from the get-go. But yeah, you're going to run into some interesting things texting. You're going to get wrong numbers. I've had a couple of wrong numbers. You're going to get the number, you're going to get no reply. Sometimes you're going to get a lot of no replies. That just means they really had basically no interest. But yeah, I think Andrew Tate was right. If a girl replies, she at least had some interest, which is, something you can build off of. That just shows that, you're, I'd say if you're getting real numbers and you're getting replies back, I think that's a good sign. You're at least it shows you're an attractive guy. It shows that are not just an attractive, it shows that you made at least some sort of an impression on her, because if you just get no reply, it shows you didn't really make obviously, number one, she didn't really like you and wasn't that attracted to you, number one, and then number two, it just shows that you weren't really, you just were kind of boring. I think that's the thing. That's where game is really talked about so heavily, because I think for a lot of guys, a lot of guys are just not very, or a lot of guys are just kind of in girls' eyes. So if they at least, when they're talking to them, if they at least don't bore them, or they evoke some sort of emotion, then that makes the girl more inclined to talk to him. And then obviously it still could be a flake or no response, but at least that guy who she didn't find that attractive evoked enough emotions to kind of get him a chance to at least get some replies and maybe get the date. Obviously, even if he does get the date, it's still a potential to not be like a strong, there's still probably not going to be a strong connection. Because I think that's, if you really want to push one button for an emotion, a girl, I think curiosity is the number one. I think that's what, that's the thing. I think even as a guy, when you're kind of, even when you interact with other guys, if there's a guy who's, you look at him, he's not maybe the best looking guy, but he just he kind of invokes, he evokes some interest in you. I don't mean this in like a weird way, but he just he seems like an interesting guy. Maybe you see him at the gym, he just goes really hard lifting, or there's some guys at the gym who, there's one guy at the gym that just talks to everyone, it's invoking interest. And that's the thing, if that's why some people talk about the best game at the gym is just to be the guy that talks to everyone, because it's evoking interest. It invokes curiosity. This guy knows him. He knows him. Oh, he knows my friend Sarah. It's creating that curiosity. It's like, maybe he is kind of cute. Then, the curiosity button is being pressed. Even if, and that's the thing. The girl, if the guy wasn't the social animal, would the girl really have any interest? Probably not. But since he is talking to everyone in the gym, he is invoking the curiosity button. But yeah, sticking with texting is a way to set up dates, sticking to that subject. So let's see, what else did I want to touch on with texting and setting up dates. So yeah, you're gonna get a lot of left on red. I think if the fake number kind of hurts the most. I don't know why. It's one of those things. I think it's because I remember I got this girl's number at the gym, and she seemed interested, and she kept looking at me, I think she had at least somewhat of attraction for me. I approached her. I mean, it was a pretty normal approach. She gave me her number, asked for my name too after I asked hers. That's what was so interesting. It seemed like there was some interest. I think it was just more so purely physical. I don't think she liked me for me, which happens. But yeah, she gave me a number. It was just turn green. Obviously, it could have been a. Actually, I know it was a fake number because it looked like she had an iPhone. So, just basically, kind of telling me she just was not really interested. But yeah, the fake number just hurts because it's kind of like the fake number hurts because it's like they're going out of their way to basically say screw you. They're giving you the ultimate false hope. Like, it's kind of like, I don't know I can't think of an analogy, but it's like the ultimate false hope. Getting the no reply hurts too, but at least I think the no reply you can live with if you see it as a real number, just because the fake the real number shows that they did at least have at least I say I guess I'm kind of contradicting myself. I guess a real number is, I guess it's a step up from a fake number, but still, if it's no reply, it's a loss. But yeah, I think sometimes though, I think when you're struggling, say if you're an 18, 19-year-old guy, you're kind of just new to the game. I think the most important thing is kind of taking some small wins, and like cold approach. Like if you're just new to cold approach, just having a conversation with a girl, even if you don't ask for numbers, a win, and then just getting a real number, even if there's no response. You got to look at the positive in that. She at least had you were at least worthy enough in her mind to get a real number. I know life isn't about moral victories, but sometimes to build confidence, to build up to success, you got to take some small wins along the way. So I'm going to wrap with that, guys. Thanks for tuning in to BP Insights. Stay tuned for more episodes and clips from the show. Till next time, peace.